Good evening, boys and girls. It is a beautiful fall evening. It's October 10th, and we are up at the 16-acre lease. I figure I haven't shown you guys the cow herd for a while, so take you along and we'll kind of walk through the cow herd, just kind of take a look at them. I haven't taken a look at them during the daylight for, I hate to say it, but it's been about a week now. I've been coming out here after dark. We're obviously starting to get darker earlier, so come out here after dark and fill water, top off mineral and all of that, but I don't really get a chance to get good eyes on the cow herd, so we're gonna do that together tonight. Real quick, this was mowed. Mown. I never know which it is. Someone let me know. Mown. I've obviously got the tractor out here. I have not mowed this in 2 years. So they grazed it down pretty well. They hit it pretty hard. One of the big things I was wanting to control this year was the multiflora rows. They, like I said, I haven't been out here in 2 years to mow, and some of them were they weren't really spreading, but they were getting pretty big, pretty thick, pretty tall, pretty round and robust. So I wanted to knock those all down. So I had them graze this first, knowing that I could get it mowed down nice and short, and then still give it some time to kind of get some regrowth on it before we start getting into the freezing temps and this stuff shuts off. This pasture is usually the last to get grazed when I take them out of the lease. The fall lease, usually ends about October 15th. It has in the years past, and we're getting there. We're going to be here longer this year, but they usually graze this last, and around the 15th, there really isn't a whole lot of growing days after that the grass can kind of recover going into winter. So I figured that I'd give it some longer time to get some good regrowth on it, and then it's not going to be touched again. So plus, like I said, just knocking back those weeds was a pretty big priority for me, because I didn't want some of those larger, look out buddy, I didn't want some of those larger like multiflora rows and all that to get even bigger going into next year. So they are going to be on this section that they're in really for probably, and I need to take a look too. That's something else that isn't very good about coming out here during the nighttime, is it's hard to look at how the pasture growth is doing, how much they're taking, how much I have left. I'm obviously not strip grazing this. Some of you guys have seen this pasture before, but it's very uneven. There's a ravine that runs right down the middle here. It's actually a nice rectangle, but that ravine really makes it tough to strip graze. And I didn't get out here with a mower in the spring like I have before to kind of knock back the big weeds. I knew I wasn't going to be able to run wires through this 4 to 5 foot tall pile of stuff back here. So I like to just turn them into it. And amazingly enough, I used to, at the very least, rope off, poly wire off that ravine, because if they drop down into the ravine, for starters, it's pretty steep, but they could sneak under the permanent perimeter fence that's back there. Ooh, that was a big owl. Nice. But they haven't done that. So I don't think I'm going to be strip grazing this anymore. I think because it's small enough and it's oddly shaped that I'm going to go ahead and just kind of turn them out, let them free range on this particular pasture. And honestly, that pasture that I opened up this spring for the first time back there, I'm not going to strip graze either. I'm just going to turn them into that. But while we're standing right here, we've got number 2's bull calf from this year. And man, he's a good looking dude. He's very bully. I mean, there's still some things I want to watch a little bit to see how he continues to mature. But I'm really going to have to make a decision here soon on if he's getting castrated or not. Number 3's bull calf, right there with the little tag, he's definitely going to get castrated. She just doesn't have the genetics to produce a big bully bull. But with number 2 being that real meaty calf thrower, Fat Abby's her name, number 2. She's a big girl. Paired paired with the sire that we chose, you know, it's always in the back of my mind that her male calves, her bull calves, could technically be sold as, you know, herd sires for someone. A nice, just kind of a nice utility bull. His mom's not registered. His dad is registered. He'll never be a show animal, a registered, you know, a registered dextered stock or anything like that. But just a real good, hard-working bull that's raised on grass and has the good genetics from his mom and the good genetics from his dad. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. If anyone's in the market for a Dexter bull, you know, obviously I'm in the kind of around the Des Moines, Iowa area. This guy licking on me right now is actually his older brother. He looked pretty good as a bull, but not this early. I mean, we still have another 30 days to go before I would be thinking about castrating the bulls. And if you look at the difference, I know the camera's probably not picking up on it, but if you look at the difference between the bull calves on number 3 and number 2, and again, what I remember, and I'm gonna have to go back and look for sure, but what I really do remember on her number 2's bull calf last year, so his brother, there's certain things that they just didn't have that this guy has. Particularly, I'm looking at his forehead. If I can get him to turn to the side here, he's got that big forehead going and that kind of big bull crown. I'd like to see more neck. You see a little bit of a hump there starting, which is a good sign, but I'd like to see more of that. You know, he's just got good volume in his neck, and he's going to be short and squatty. You know, the bull calves that come out of number 1, they're taller, and I'm dealing with that right now with one of the steers I'm trying to finish out. That he just I don't know if he's going to be putting on the pounds. I don't know if he's going to be fat enough, but you know, number 2's bull calves are just short and squatty, which is what I want to see in the Dexter breed. But I listened to a really interesting podcast a bit ago. It's the Herd Quitter podcast, and if anyone's into cattle podcasts, I know there's a handful out there that are really good. Hey, buddy, what's up? But the Herd Quitter podcast, he did hi buddy, he did a podcast with, oh shoot, I just had the dude's name in my mind. He owns Farrow, Kit Farrow Cattle Company out of Colorado. Actually, they're in like 3 or 4 different states now. And Kit Farrow was talking about bull selection, so what he looks for in bull. He was talking a lot about what he looks for, his bull criteria for essentially what to him is a 5-star bull. There's just something about that dude that's making me feel like he looks a lot more bully sooner. You know, he's got thick legs, deep body, big forehead going. Like I said, the top of his head, he's just, I don't know, he just looks like a little bull. And again, I've said that before, but that's been with another 2 months of growth on these dudes. He's just, I don't know, he just kind of has that look already. So, but I'm going to have to make a decision, like I said, because castration will be happening probably in about 30 days. And I don't want to do it in the middle of winter, so I better get it done when the vet's out there to do number 3's bull calf. But yeah, if anyone's possibly in the market for a Dexter bull calf, hit me up. That might help me decide a little bit. 322 here. She was also bred this year, and I think she was successful. I think the only open cow that I have is oh, look out, mama. I think the only open cow that I have is number 1 there. So 2-year-old heifer out of number 3. She was born in 2022, and this will be her first calf, assuming everything goes well. I'm happy to see there's still lots of grass, which my thing is the cow herd is not coming home until those 2 steers go on October 22nd. That's the steer's butcher date, so I'm not putting them back together. So at the very least, the cows have to stay out here for another 2 weeks. So yeah, we got number 3 here. Just little feminine, dainty number 3. Always gets bred. Throws some really good female calves for me every year. This is her 3-year-old heifer. She is successfully bred as well, so she'll be having her first calf next year. So I'm excited to get a calf out of her, especially because she will be using her and her sister 3222 over there, who I just showed you. This is 3121, so born in 21 out of number 3. They have different sires actually. So obviously the cow herd is bred to Daggett's Shay, number 3's offspring, because I don't want to breed them back to their father, Daggett Shay. They actually got Timberview Cade, which is another big red bull that is from the same owner that used to own Daggett Shay, and that I still buy Daggett Shay semen from. I'm excited for these two girls, the two heifers, to be pregnant this year, because it's gonna be some different genetics coming in. So they'll have obviously number 3's genetics. They'll have their sire's genetics, Daggett Shay, which is a award-winning sire who I really like. And then they're going to compound those high-quality genetics with even more high-quality genetics through Timberview Cade, who's also an award-winning bull. So, yeah, exciting times. And everyone's getting all antsy, all amped up here. I am excited for the cow herd to come home, though, man. I still have that small, very, very overgrown pasture back there. I'm not sure how long they're going to get out of that. And then they'll have another couple days up there by the corral system up there by the landowner's barn and stuff like that. So they'll get a few more. Oh, sorry, Mama. They'll get a few more days out of that. So as the weather starts getting cooler and the days are getting shorter, it's going to be really nice to just be able to walk out of my house and go down and check the cows, spend some quality time with them. With them out here and everything I've got going on at home, I feel like I've kind of lost touch a little bit with the cow herd, and not strip grazing them. You know, I'm not coming out twice a day to move the wire. So it's very easy to just kind of, you know, let the cows do their thing and, you know, almost forget about them a little bit. So I feel like I've lost touch with them. It'll be nice to have them come back. And it'll be nice, truthfully, it'll be nice to have those steers gone. Again, not something I want to do, not something I'm looking forward to doing, but it has to happen. Once they're gone, then I can move on with the rest of the year and focus on the cow herd going into winter and get ready for a nice kind of relaxing winter. So, but that's it, guys. Questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, you know the drill. Leave them down below, and we will check back in with you later.